I truly cannot even imagine.
Yeah.
Do your kids read over the summer? Were they given reading assignments from their teachers?
Absolutely.
Summer reading?
Yes.
So there was one teacher who was saying that she thinks that summer reading assignments are just dumb. She says she doesn't want her students to connect the idea of reading with something that they have to do, with a chore. She said during the summertime, when they are supposed to be having fun and supposed to be free of chores and obligations as it relates to school, she doesn't want to give them summer reading projects because she wants them to have a positive experience with it. What do you think as a mom?
I disagree. I mean, I wish as a child I'd read more, that my parents made me read more. I think it builds a muscle and kind of gets you in the rhythm of reading. And I'm looking at my 17-year-old now, who, of course, was required to do all of this. And she is such a better reader than I am.
Yeah.
And I think that we've gotten away from it. And we've got plenty of time to play out in the streets and do all those things and video games, but we're not reading as much as we need to anymore.
I do agree with that, and I think that it's a great cure for boredom in the summer when the kids say I'm bored. You know, it's great to just say read a book. Now I remember when my kids were a little younger and would get the reading assignments for the summer, and it was always this last minute dash to like get the book finished.
Reading it in like the last 4 hours before, like the night before.
Honestly, and then trying to stay on them all summer about, well, you better, how many pages did you read today? Okay, I'll pay you to read every chapter I mean, it's just, gets to the point where it's like, you know, just let them be kids for the summer and let them just do their schoolwork during the school year. But
and I think
you do want them to be good readers.
It's got to be in a rhythm. And like I said, it's like a muscle. And the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Well, and the more you enjoy it.
Exactly.
Like, I didn't really love reading until... It was probably in college. Me and my mom would go on vacations in the summer where we'd like go down to Galveston or we'd go to South Padre or we'd go to Destin, and we would just post up on the beach for like 4 days. And she would take a book and I'd be like, what are we gonna do now? And she's like, let's go get you some books. And I was like, meh. So we went and got me books, and I remember, and I read like 5 books in 4 days. And now it's that thing that I do to like unwind. Like every night before I go to bed, I put my cell phone down for like the 30 minutes before I go to bed, and I turn my laptop off. And it's kind of my quiet time to just relax. And it's something I enjoy now, but it was because of those trips with my mom that like just laying on the beach for 6 hours.
I do think that if you give a child a book that they would enjoy, instead of just telling them you have to read this title, if you take them to the bookstore, you know your kid and you know the kind of things that excite them, then take them to the bookstore and pick out a book that, so
figuring out what they like, I think is the most important thing.
I think if teachers would say, you know, you need to read one book this summer, and when you come back from summer break, you know, write an essay about it, or get in front of the class and tell us what your book was about. I think that's a much better way to do it than have a reading list.
Yeah, because finding the type of books that like interest you, like what are your favorite types of books?
Well, look at us with our reading book club that we tried to do with the, remember earlier this year?
Like I think we all three read completely different types of books.
Yeah, like I'm reading Poster Child right now, and I love reading people's stories. So I would say
I like reading people's stories, but I like funny ones. Like I don't like serious ones that are going to make me cry. Like I love Chelsea Handler's books. I love Tori Spelling's books. I love Jenny McCarthy's written 2 books about having kids.
Right.
And I don't have kids, but I think she's funny as hell. So I enjoy those. Like.
And something makes you better.
I enjoy funny books.
I love self-help or Christian books that kind of motivate you or kind of help you through a process or give you tools of encouragement.
I like the books that just
fantasy,
take me
Harlequin romance novels.
No, not Harlequin romance.
50 Shades of
50 Shades of Dumb. That was the worst book I've ever
read the sequel
read in my life. It's the worst written book I've ever read in my life.
I never read it.
It was horrible.
So what's your favorite? Like, what was your favorite book?
What are you reading right now?
My favorite book was The Celestine Prophecy, and I tell everybody that they should read that book because it was life-changing for me. But I read I read chick lit. I read like John
Devil Wears Prada.
I read like Nora Roberts and like just just escapism where I can hear somebody else's story and not worry about my own stuff. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's usually what I do.
Say that again, Keith. What'd you say?
Eat, love, pray.
Eat, love, pray.
Love.
No, I'm not into that.
No. I loved that book, actually.
Really? See, I'm reading the sequel to Devil Wears Prada right now, and because I love that. Like,
do you read about love?
No, I don't. I read about love.
I do. I read about love. I love love stories, not necessarily like cheesy romance stories, but love stories.
Fantasies of like what love really is.
Okay. Well